Hey everyone, I want to just talk a little bit about technical analysis. And I do my technical analysis lessons in real time. Anyone could get a book and say, oh, hey, back then I made this great call or whatever, right? They don't show you the ones that didn't work out. But I have my background is in the institutional trading world, so I've spent a lot of time trading. And I learned over the years that things really don't need to be that complicated. One of the things, or the things we want to focus on are what price levels are important, what's the trend, and what's the momentum, and what's the psychology. Now, here's S&P, or the S&P 500 ETF, the spider, and notice how we had this sell-off because of the banks, and then for some reason yesterday everyone thought everything was hunky-dory, or the last 2 days everything was great, and we came back a little bit, but we stalled out right at the 390 level. So this is an important level, around 390, 391, 92, 93. I mean, why is it not 398 or 387? I mean, that I don't know, but it's pretty clear that the 390 level is important. This level up here is important too. This is the 408 level. And we can see here this kind of weird thing about how a level that was support can convert into resistance. So support is where you have a lot of buyers. When market's going lower, there's not enough buyers to take in all the shares, so the sellers have to sell their shares at a discount to get the buyers off of the sidelines. But when we get to a support level, all of a sudden there is enough demand or buy interest to absorb all the supply. But so we had support here for a few weeks, and then we broke, and it converted to a resistance level. Now this happens because a lot of the investors who bought over here while it was at support regret doing so once the price went lower, and a lot of them tell themselves, I'm going to get out, but I'm only going to do it if I can get out at break even. So as the price got close up to back up to 408, a lot of the people that bought around here started to sell. So if we have enough remorseful buyers placing sell orders at the level that was support, it can convert a support level into a resistance level, and that's what happened here. And that's what's going on down here too. Now let's take a look at a longer term picture of the S&P 500 spider. Now here we can see this was the 408 level I was just talking about. So it was resistance here, then it converted into support. Now this conversion takes place because of seller's remorse. People sold, and when the price goes higher, a lot of them say, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have sold. I want to buy my shares back, but I'm only going to do so if I can get them for the same price I sold them at. So if we have enough remorseful sellers placing buy orders at a level that was resistance, the level that was resistance can convert into support. Here we have support converting into resistance. If there's enough remorseful buyers placing sell orders at a level that was support, then the level converts from support into resistance. So seller's remorse converts levels from resistance into support, and buyer's remorse converts levels from support into resistance. Now let's go down here and just look at this 390 level, and this is today here where we seem to kind of be ready to head lower, but regardless, market's moving lower, not enough demand to take in all the supply until we get to the 390 level. All right. Now what happens? The price goes lower, and when it rallies back, a lot of the remorseful buyers tell themselves, I'm going to sell if I can get out of break even. If we have enough remorseful buyers placing a sell order at the level that was support, it turns into resistance like happened here and here. Now we see again, the level that was resistance becomes support. So support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. Seller's remorse. People sold, and when the price moved higher, a lot of them tell themselves, I made a mistake, I'm going to buy my shares back, but I'm only going to do it if I can get them for the same price I sold them at. So if there's enough of these buy orders, the level turns from resistance into support. Have resistance here, support here, support here. And now we've gotten below this important level, and there's going to be a lot of vested interest there. So there's probably a lot of sellers around the 390 level. So that could put a top on our market. So remember to check back. I like to do these real-time technical analysis lessons. Like I said, anyone could write a book and talk about a great call they made last year, but that's not really the way to learn, if you ask me. The way to learn is, I mean, think about it this way. You could train to be a boxer, right? You could run and lift weights and so forth and so on, but until you actually get into the ring, with a real live person, then you don't really know what's going on. So I think that by looking at stuff in real time, you actually get practical lessons that you can make money off of. How can you make money off of? Well, if a market is going in a decline, or you're thinking about, where should I buy? You can look into the past and see if there was a level that was support or resistance, because there's a good chance it could be support. Not guaranteed, but it's a good chance. You put the odds in your favor. If a market's going higher, you say to yourself, where is my price target going to be? Well, I see resistance around 15, so I'm going to put my sell order around 14 and 3/4. Now, someone who didn't look at the market and didn't let the market tell them what to do might say, hey, I'm going to sell it at 16. And guess what? It gets to 15, hits resistance, and it goes lower. So selling it at 14 and 3/4 is not as good as selling it at 16, but it's better than missing it. So we let the market tell us what to do, and the market talks to us by how it acts when it gets to these important price levels. All right, thanks everybody. Make sure you check back. I'm going to do a daily technical analysis lesson Monday through Friday, and I will see you soon.